What's up, guys? Welcome back to Latin Chopsticks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, today I'm finally doing a place that I've been wanting to do for literally the longest time. Actually, I've been wanting to go to this place, and I've been wanting to do this place to have food there literally since before the channel even started. And I think I've already mentioned to you guys before that I've been looking for a specific place like this for years. And that place is some of the best Dominican food that you can have in Orlando. Why? Because back in 2017, I did a trip to New York on my own, and well, actually with one of my best friends, and he and I ended up going to this Dominican restaurant, and it was some of the most delicious Hispanic food that we've had in a really long time. So I've kind of been with that obsession, trying to find a good Dominican food place, and I've been to a couple of locations here in Orlando. None of them really compare. There was one that was absolutely delicious, but I think after the pandemic, they went bankrupt or something because I have not been able to find it. I've been looking and looking, but I did find another one. Now, this is kind of a semi-touristy restaurant because apparently it's a big staple here in Orlando. I knew about it, but it was like in the back of my mind because the last time I've been to this location was back in like, what, 2008, 2009, so I was a little kid back then. So now, today, we finally get to go and visit it. And I believe, if I remember off the top of my head, it's Punta Cana restaurant. And they serve some of the best Dominican food that you can get here in Orlando. I'll be honest, I don't know if it is the best. It might be the best that I've had so far. We'll see today. But I do plan on keeping, like, I want to keep looking in the future. But with enough, talking, let's go ahead and head to this location. It is actually on 192 going east, if I'm not mistaken, from where the theme parks are for Disney and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. As always, the address, the website, if there's one available, and the name of the restaurant is going to be in the description down below. So enough talking. I'm starving. Let's head out. What's up, guys? We are here. I'm super excited. We finally made it. It's, I mean, this place looks really, really nice. Right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, it is completely empty, but most Hispanic restaurants that you go to, whether it's Colombian and things like that, when you come mid-afternoon, like today's, I think it's about 2 p.m. right now, it ends up being early for the restaurants to be full. Usually, any type of Hispanic restaurant gets packed after 5 p.m. because it's like pretty much like a rumba, like a party for the rest of the day. With that said, I'm looking over the menu now. They have a ton of options. You guys gotta check this out. All right, guys, you gotta check this menu out. They do have a Instagram. You could definitely look them up. I'll definitely have all the information, like I said, in the description down below. There's the address. But you have a ton of different options. You have different like appetizers, salads, sandwiches that you can have, drinks. They have a kids menu here, and I believe in the back it starts going into like all the different lunch dishes. They have chicken, they have pork, they have like meats, they have seafood. They have Mofongo, which is, honestly, it's a staple between Puerto Rico and here. I don't know who came first, if you guys want to comment down in the section below, but it is really, really good. I mean, they have a ton of different options. Now, I've been super excited to come here, especially after I did that trip to New York, so I'm going to take a couple of minutes. I'm going to look. I might order maybe 3 dishes in total and then an appetizer, just so I can have variety to show you guys, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes while I take a look through the menu. All right, guys, perfect. We are here. This is crazy. I ordered a large appetizer. I ordered a Mondongo, so I'll show you guys what that is, and my wife ordered a full fried snapper. So let me kind of record everything. I'm gonna let my wife, normally I have her give me the plate and we could try it out. I want her to eat. I want to make this more kind of fluid, so by the time we get to it, it's probably gonna be eaten a little bit, but it looks amazing. But so far, you guys gotta check this table out. All right, guys, so this here is the this is the Mondongo. This is basically a beef tripe stew. So it's like the innards of a stomach stew with rice. You have here, and you have, like I said, I don't know if this is Dominican or if it's gonna be Puerto Rican, but this is Mofongo. So it's like mashed up green plantains made to like a mashed potato type of consistency, maybe a little tougher, mixed in with like chicharrón and shrimp. And then you have this delicious like garlic sauce, normally it's supposed to be what I'm used to is like some sort of like chicken stock or some sort, but this is like a garlic-based sauce. This is a criollo sauce. I believe it has cilantro, onions, it's almost like a salsa. I'll try that out and I'll tell you. I'm not 100% sure. That's just a very like Hispanic type of flavor. This is the appetizers. This is like a picares, and this has literally most of the Dominican staples. It has fried cheese, fried pork, fried chicken, tostones, and it has a little bit of, it's topped off with like decorative onions and things like that. My wife's right here. This is the full fried snapper. This is 2 sizes. This is the large one. It does have a smaller one, but she loves fish. And then this right here is just like the beans that go along with that rice on hers. So yeah, I mean, this is a great lunch. All right, guys, excellent. So I'm gonna go ahead and dig in to the Mondongo. I'm sorry, they're very similar names. I'm gonna keep messing that up. So, oh no, I just realized I don't have a spoon. I'm gonna have to ask them. So in that case, we'll start with this later. Let me put this to the side. So I do have a fork here. Let's go ahead and dig into this, because this just looks amazing. First things first, I wanna try this fried cheese. This is a delicious staple in Dominican cuisine, just like fried fish. I'm sorry, fried cheese. I cannot talk today, for the love of God. We're gonna go ahead and try this out. All right, guys, I'm super excited. That's so good. It has this very thin layer of crispiness on the outside. The inside is nice and warm and melted. It's not a stretchy type of cheese. It's ever so lightly salted, but it balances so well. I'm gonna take a bite and I want to show you guys the inside. Here's it, check this out. So this cheese is phenomenal. Now, when you squeeze it, it's very low moisture, so it doesn't do that stretchiness. But I'm telling you guys, this type of cheese is so freaking good. The only way to like really eat this is to fry it. And as you guys could see, it doesn't really melt. What it does is just crisps up on the outside. So you have that little bit of cheese taste mixed with that char taste. Oh, it is delicious. It's almost like a mozzarella with very, very low fat content. Oh my God. Next thing we're gonna try. Oh, that's so good. That's sausage. Man, this is deep fried smoked sausage. The flavor is so good. You get the smokiness. You get that really strong, almost like a hot dog flavor on steroids, but it is so good. The outside is super crispy. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna look around here. We're gonna go ahead and try the chicken. Let's go ahead and try this out. So the chicken's really good. It is not dry. It's not super juicy, but it's not dry because it is like a chicken thigh, pretty much. It does have the bones in it, but the outside is nice and crispy. The inside has that delicious, kind of like a little bit of a smoky taste to it. Not much. It's really more like a fried taste. It is a little bit plain. It doesn't have too much salt, but it just goes together so well because the outside does taste a little bit salty, but the inside is just nice, soft, and delicious. Now, eating this, you have to be careful to not eat the bones. The thing is, though, if you wanted to, you technically could, since it's fried so much. The bones are like super dry and crispy, and it's almost like eating crackling chips. The next thing we're gonna try is a toston. Perfectly fried. The outside's super nice and crispy. The inside is nice and soft. Me personally, being Venezuelan, I love having some of that flaky salt on the outside of this to add that contrast of like the green plantain flavor with a little bit of saltiness. It kind of adds, in my opinion, adds like depth of flavor. But regardless, this is absolutely delicious, man. I have to put that to the side because if not, I'm gonna keep eating it and I'm not gonna be able to eat anything else. Next thing we're really gonna focus on, or we're finally gonna focus on, is the Mofongo. She gave me both sauces. Normally you order one. She was nice enough to give me both so I could try it out. Let's go ahead and check this out. Now the good thing about this restaurant is normally they give this to you completely doused in sauce. The reason she gave it to me like that is because I ordered it as a side instead of a main dish. But let's go ahead and like cut into it. As you guys can see, it's literally just green plantains mashed together, mixed in with pork. Sometimes shrimp, I think this is just pork and chicharron, but normally you can get them with shrimp, you can get them with chicken, depending on the location, depending on where you're going. So let me try to see if I can, there you go. And we're gonna dip it into the garlic sauce. All right, and we're gonna try this baby out. All right, let's dig in. Oh yeah, that's really good. Normally, I'm not a very big fan of mofongo. In my opinion, it's extremely dry, just because green plantain is very, very dry. But that's why they add these like consomés on the side. So when you dip it in, it absorbs it really well because it's so dry. It combines, it's almost like a sponge. It sucks up that consommé so well. You have this delicious, deep, not too overwhelming, not too strong garlic flavor. You get a little bit of the crispy pieces of the pork, of the chicharron that's inside. It balances it together really, really well. On its own, I wouldn't be able to eat it, but let's try the other sauce. Let's try the criollo sauce. All right, guys, same thing as before. You can see some of the delicious pork chunks here. Just gonna go ahead and just do that. Let's get a bigger piece instead of breaking it apart. I love this. I love this because not many places actually puts nice big chunks. It's always like very little chunks, so it ends up being like mostly green plantain. This is mixed in really, really well. So now let's go ahead and do that here. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Oh, I'm gonna lose it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and try this out. All right, guys. Oh my gosh. So this is like a tomato-based sauce. I have a hint of onion, cilantro, peppers. Really classic Hispanic taste. But I'm telling you guys, the garlic consommé is just so much better. Wow. Guys, I'm not exaggerating. I mean, look at this. I'm already halfway done. I promise you, I normally don't like mofongo. This is some of the best mofongo I've ever had. Oh my God. I let my wife try some. Prueba esto, ¿verdad, pana? ¿De verdad? Pero pruébalo con esto. All right, guys, so my wife was nice enough to let me try her fish dish. It's literally already halfway gone. Let's go ahead and check this out. If you're a big fish eater, I mean, this is delicious. It doesn't get any fresher than this, the entire fish. I'm gonna try to see if I can get some of the neck meat right here. Just a little bit, because I don't wanna take too much. I'm kind of not much of a fish guy because I have yet to find a fish that tastes as good as the ones from Venezuela. But that's just my personal opinion. But we're gonna go ahead and try that out. It's not much. My wife didn't really leave me much room, but let's go ahead and try this out. Now let's try that fish flavor. Oh, wow. Oh, that's actually really, really good. It's nice. It's salty. It's fried really, really well. There's no excess moisture like you normally find when you have fish. Me personally, I'm a person that loves to eat fish, but I love eating fish when it's nice. It's either really, really fried, or my favorite, it's grilled, like on a very high heat. This is me a personal opinion, of course, but on very, very, very high heat charcoal. So the fish dries a lot. I think you guys know this about me. I love dry meats, but fish, when it's like super dry, I love it. It's one of my favorite types of foods. I'm trying to see if I can get a little bit more, but she got all the easy parts. All this is like covered in the bones and stuff like that. I'm gonna turn it around. All right, I turned it around. I'm gonna have a piece of it. All right, guys, I turned the fish around. Let me go ahead and, now I can have some good pieces. But I'm gonna just grab this, because I don't wanna eat my wife's fish. I'm gonna really try this. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and try that out. It's nice. You see the smoke coming out. You kind of see the pink ring a little bit around it. So it means some of the smokiness kind of penetrated the fish, meaning it's, I'm super excited. It's not smokiness, I'm sorry, it's the fried. Like you could see it penetrated a bit, so the outside of the skin is a little bit crispy. Oh yeah. Oh my God, that's delicious. Pair it off with a little bit of salad. One thing, personal opinion, that skin on that fish, it's really salty. So when you're having it, for me personally, my wife loves it. I have to mix it with the rice and get some of the arugula and some of the tomatoes to kind of balance out that salt. It is very salty. But because of the salt that they put outside of the fish, You have this delicious packed flavor in each and every bite. Oh my gosh. All right, guys, we finally get to the main event. This is Mondongo. As I said, this is like stewed tripe. Check this out. It's really delicious. Look at the color and like the thickness of the stew. You know, you have potatoes, you have carrots, and then you have, of course, the tripe, which is the stomach. You can definitely put some of that rice in there, but let's go ahead and try the tripe with a little, well, let's try the broth first, and then we're gonna go ahead and try the tripe. Normally you have everything because this is a stew, not really a soup, but let's go ahead and try this out. All right, guys. Oh, that's hearty. Oh my goodness. A little bit more. You taste that stomach flavor, that tripe flavor. It comes through that stew really well. You get the pieces of vegetables. Kind of adds on a little bit to the thickness. Great, so I turned on the light because I think the sun's kind of getting above us now and it's off on the window. I want to make sure there's good lighting for this, but this is honestly really, really good. Now we're gonna try the stomach. Let's check this out. So this is the tripe right here, it's the stomach. I mean, it's like almost like a honeycomb of fat and cartilage mixed together. It's really, really chewy, it's really, really soft. It has to be cooked really well to kind of take away the griminess on the flavor, or gaminess of flavor, but this is delicious. This kind of reminds me of like the other sauce that we were having. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the sauce that we were having with the Mofongo, but it's a lot heartier and there's a lot more fat in it, so. Stomach is super soft. Not necessarily melt in your mouth, but you could probably squeeze it with your tongue and chew like once or twice and be done with it. Usually stomach's a little bit tough. You really gotta know how to cook it well. You gotta use like a pressure cooker to kind of wind it down. Or you can stew it for hours on end until it gets to that perfect consistency. Not many people like this. I personally do, just because it has just so much unique flavor. And I don't know how it is in other parts of the world, but tripe's pretty cheap, so it's really easy, really affordable to do something like this. And all the vegetables in here, the carrots, the potatoes, really absorb the flavor from the tripe. And everything just kind of works together and complements itself really, really well. But I'm gonna try one last thing before we finish here and then probably get some dessert. And I wanna show you something else that I missed on that huge appetizer that we got. But you guys gotta check this out. One of my favorite things to do, especially when having soup in any Hispanic place, is you get some of the rice. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand in the camera, but then you kind of wet it in the soup a little bit, and you have this delicious bite. Oh my gosh. Oh man, it just adds so much flavor to the rice. I'm sorry guys, this is honestly, it is delicious. Oh my God. I'm actually really happy I got this. All right guys, last thing that I forgot is this right here, and I was looking for it. I thought at first that this was the pork. No, these are the smoked sausages. This is the pork. We're gonna go ahead and try a piece out now. All right. It's a little bit salty, in my opinion, but it is delicious. If you look at the inside, it's nice. It's dry, but then the top piece here that's actually coming off, it's fat. That's been rendered down quite a bit, so it's only a little bit of fat and a little bit of the pork. You put all this together, and it's so freaking delicious. You get some of the raw onion, and it cuts through that fat. Honestly, guys, I'm really impressed. I don't know if this is the best. I do know this is one of the most popular Dominican restaurants in Orlando. In my opinion, definitely worth a visit if you guys like Dominican food. There's a lot of different things that you can eat here. There's a lot of variety. I showed you guys the menu. It is, in my opinion, a little bit pricey, but look at the amount of portions that you're getting. This right here, look at the size of this compared to my face. This was 20 bucks. There's a ton of fried food. The only reason I bought this when there's only 2 of us is just because I wanted to make sure that we had variety for you guys. The Mondongo, Mofongo. I don't remember how much this is because I didn't ask. I just asked for the side. Because they have some of the major dishes that are like 18 to 20 bucks, but it has like a whole bunch of like sauce. It's not just, I mean, it's a lot. I think it's bigger than this. And it has like a whole bunch of other stuff mixed into it. You could choose like shrimp instead of the pork. You could choose, I think, chicken. You could choose lobster. You could choose seafood and things like that. But yeah, I'm really, really impressed with this place. Depending on what my wife says, because I'm a foodie, I'll eat anything and I'll revisit most places no matter what. Depending on what my wife says, I might come back. This might end up being like a regular staple that we do every now and again whenever she's craving fish. Because that is some of the best fish we've had here in Orlando. That's not like ridiculously priced, like $60. Her plate was $30, but I mean, you're getting a whole full fried fish. There is a choice to get a smaller version. I don't know how much smaller. I don't know if it's just half. I don't know if they cut the head off. I'm not sure how it looks, but it's like $22. Of course, prices can go up or down by the time you guys come and visit. I mean, especially with the economy the way it is now, a lot of things have gone up in price. Still, definitely 100% recommend this place to anyone. I do kind of regret not trying them, but they did give me like different types of hot sauces. I believe this is ketchup, and this right here is like salsa rosada, which is the infamous Hispanic ketchup mixed with mayonnaise sauce. It's really good. But with that said, I think we're gonna go ahead and finish enjoying this. I really appreciate you guys joining us today. I hope you liked the food. I personally did. My wife, I know she's loving it. She's destroying that fish on her own. I genuinely didn't think she was gonna finish it, but I think she is. With that said, I will see you guys next Sunday, and until then, let's just keep on eating.
Sabroso.